Okay, so exponent laws, this is page 20, and we are, it's my page 20, we are reviewing grade 7, and then again, we're going to do this later on. I'll keep the podcast people in immense suspense. Oh yeah, right. Pardon me? Page 21 for you? Okay. Page 20, 21, depends on what you printed, I guess, or what version you printed. Anyways, it says exponent laws, and this is grade 7, grade 8, this part of it, so we need to get all these questions right, and it'll certainly get more complicated. So first of all, you're going to have something like this, 8 cubed, and you have to know the difference between this. 5 squared, all cubed, and 5 squared times 5 cubed, and you can't guess. You have to know which one you add exponents and which one you multiply exponents. So that's what we're doing today. This is like this one, okay? So you add exponents when you have two bases. Bases are called the big numbers. Okay, 8 is the base. When you have two bases, they're multiplied together, you add exponents. Another example of this, please write it down, is x to the negative 2 times x to the 6. And I'll give you 10 seconds after you write it down to do it. You add exponents when you have two bases raised to an exponent being multiplied together. Something in my... Okay, so this is 6. Sorry, I can't write exponents very good on the smartboard. But negative 2 plus 6 equals negative 4. So that's the exponent of negative 4. There. We'll do some math karate. Hi-ya! Later, and make that into a positive exponent, but not now. Then we have a division question. The other way I could write this is 8 cubed over 8 squared, which means divide. You should have been taught that this is 3 8s in the numerator and 2 8s in the denominator, and they just cancel. That's where exponent laws come from. And so if I do this and give you 10 seconds, you shouldn't have a problem with it. Oops, I should say subtract exponents. La 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 la. Thanks for writing this down, everyone. And this is kind of trying to trick you, but you never divide exponents. You can write that down if you want to. You never divide exponents. You always subtract, so you don't divide 10 and 5. You just 10 subtract 5 gives you x to the 5th. Yeah?
Just to go back to the top, how come it's x negative 4 instead of just x positive 4?
Good point. Because I made a mistake. Thank you. Negative 2 plus 6. That was unintentional. I have no idea why I did that. Please don't call my mom. Right, my mom's proud of me. Just like you. Yeah, so negative 2 plus 6 is equal to 4. Ay. Alright, I will not make another mistake. Ever. If you have something like this, you smile. And don't think that's a hard question, because it's not. You just apply the exponent to everything in the brackets. So this equals a cubed b cubed, and that's all you can do. There's nothing else to do, so leave it. It takes 5 seconds, and that's all it's going to take. It's 5 seconds. You don't need to look for anything else to do there. Same thing with this one. If you cube a fraction, you cube the top and you cube the bottom. So again, you're happy to get that question. The answer is a cubed over b cubed. That's it. That's all you do. It's a gimme mark. Don't make it too complicated or think it's too easy. Thank you, Sydney. And lastly is where we had the first question I wrote up. If you have one base and two exponents right beside each other, you multiply exponents. So you can see, now when I say multiply exponents, you keep the base. You don't multiply the base, you keep the base, you keep the big number, and you add exponents. You keep the big number, look at, we don't put 64 here, we put 8. You keep the base and add exponents. You keep the base and subtract exponents. Here you keep the base and multiply exponents. Okay. Now another example of this is the power. Let's just write it down here so you can see it better. Okay, here's the power rule. If you have something like this, this is the hardest question, so let's start. Because I'm not looking to see if you got 2 out of 3 right. If you get 2 out of 3 right here, I'm not impressed, because everyone gets 2 out of 3 right. This one, you multiply the exponents. But think about what I just said. Multiply the exponents. This is not an exponent. You do not do 5 times 2. That's wrong. That's what almost all the mistakes are on this one. If you do that, you lose most of your marks, or half your marks, because that's the most important part. This is not 5 times 2. Otherwise the 2 would be over here, and you multiply 2 times 5. If it's an exponent, this is the base, and this is the exponent, so this becomes 5 squared. What's 5 squared? 25. Okay, do not put 10 there, or you're going to lose half your marks. So if 5 and numbers in the brackets, that means the 5 is being squared. 5 squared is 25, not 10. Okay, now it's your turn, I think, to do 3 questions and try to apply the proper exponent rules. Yeah, let's just do example 5. Quickly, podcast people, I'll get you to pause until you're done and unpause. So pause. Recorder on. You guys play the recorder? Yeah, my daughters did that last 2 years. It's not very gentle music for the ears when you're a parent. It's nice sometimes. Sometimes after the 12th blow of the, it's a little high-pitched and tense before bedtime. Be soft. But you don't say that as a parent. Say, it's beautiful, good job. Can I hear it again? More than I could do. Okay, so do you add or multiply these exponents, everyone? First you put 9 or 3 for the base. Keep the base, multiply exponents. How? This one's a tricky one. You may have got it wrong. So when I say you may have got it wrong, take a look to see what you may not have done and do it. What the heck am I talking about? Anyone know? Keep the what? Base? Okay, so what do I put? Yep. Like that? Good try. With the bracket. Good girl. Awesome. You have to keep brackets, otherwise this is a different value. If you don't put brackets, it's negative 2 times 2. If you put brackets, it's -2 times -2, which is a different value. One's 4 and one's -4. So write yourself a note, keep brackets. I like it. If you don't put brackets, you get that one wrong. And this one, now sometimes I see students go 2 cubed with this one and put 8. That's not what you do. You just multiply 2 times 3. Okay, so multiply exponent 6. All right, do all these. And when you're done that, work on your homework. Nice review. Man, remember when I did this 1,000 days ago? Do you ever divide exponents? Nope. So D and E should not be too difficult. All right, podcast people, pause, and come back when you're ready. I should record first. Okay, that's correct. Why don't I like this? I love students, but what could this student do better with all his or her answers? Yep. Equal signs. Please put equal signs on yours, or I'll throw you in the swamp. Okay, correct quiz. Add exponents for A. Add exponents for B. It's a little harder because there's no exponent on X. There's no exponent. The exponent is 1. It is 1x. Never divide exponents. Always subtract them. And when you have 2 exponents in a row, you multiply them. So that gets us to H. H, don't be fooled. You put the x to the 9th and y to the 9th. If it's in brackets, that means you're applying the exponent to everything inside the bracket. And this one has a number now, so instead of putting 4 squared, let's just make that 16. Okay? Don't leave it as 4 squared. You have to simplify the numbers. This is the same thing, and this is the one we start. Biggest mistake for this one, of course, is students put 10. You don't multiply, you only multiply exponents. This 2 is not an exponent, it is a base. So how do you get 32? It's 2 multiplied by itself 5 times. How do you get the 81? It's -3 multiplied by itself 4 times. And you can use your calculator for that. -3 in brackets, exponent 4. If you don't put -3 in brackets, you're going to get the wrong answer. You're going to get -81 as opposed to +81. Okay, so as promised, you have 10 minutes to work on the homework that follows. Ruby doesn't think it's enough homework, but I think she got outvoted. And if you're done that, you have a take-home quiz to do. So podcast people, I'm going to right now post that take-home quiz. You need to do it and submit it to me tomorrow. How is that going to work? No, yeah, I don't know how it's going to work. How's that going to work? I know, I'm just trying to think that's the best way to do it. Stalin, this is me being unsure. Anyways, podcast people, just do it, and I will. Not sure how we're going to do this. I think we're going to just say we'll crack it tomorrow. Yeah, maybe I'll make it as an assignment. Okay, so podcast people, submit the assignment through Google Class. Alright, podcast people, I'll change my mind. You're going to do the assignment and then just send it to me through my email. Take a picture of it, and that's due tomorrow before your class. Or I guess at the start of your class, whether you're in period 1 or 3. Thank you. So no submission on the Google assignment, you're just going to email it to me. It's, I think, easier for everyone. Don't want to show you all the answers, so let me let me go here, and here, and here. Okay, so your homework has a question like this, and a question like this, and these are different, even though they look the same, they're different values. One, the exponent only applies to the base, and the base here is 5. It's the big number. It doesn't apply to the exponent, or to the negative sign, because it's not in brackets. So when you have a negative sign that's not in brackets, you just bring the negative sign down. And 5 squared means 5 times itself 2 times. So negative 5 squared is the same thing as negative 25. Everyone write this down, please. Forget the other homework. Thank you. This one, the whole base is inside the brackets, so it's negative 5 times itself 2 times. And what's negative 5 times negative 5? It ain't negative. It is positive. So one is negative 25 and one is positive 25. Hopefully you understand the difference. If it's a cubic, it doesn't matter, because 3 negatives in a cubic would make a negative. It only makes a difference if it's squared or to the 4th or to the 6th, but mainly in grade 10 we'll see just squared. Okay, so those are your homework questions. I think you have a couple like that you can look at. And I will get you back to the screen of that podcast. People, pause, work on homework. Okay, so find this. For me, it's bottom page 23. Might be a little different for you. And I need this. Okay, so these are going to get harder, not right off the bat, but some of them are 4-steppers. These ones are, not sure what's going on there. This one, you just multiply the numbers and add exponents. Okay, so multiply numbers, add exponents. I don't even think I'm going to do it. I'm just going to coach you along. So multiply the numbers and add the exponents. You do it before I do it. Negative 7 times 6 is negative 42. Add the exponents, keep the base, add the exponents. We want that question on the test. Happy. This one, similar, you divide numbers and subtract exponents. Again, work ahead of me. You never ever divide exponents. Don't do it. Did everyone say hi to our new exchange student from France, Michelle? Make him feel at home, okay? Do you speak any English at all? No, he does not. Okay. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Y to the 15. Leo's favorite breakfast. Delicious. Now this one's a little tougher, so start, because 30 does not divide by 45. And when you have numbers that don't divide evenly, you just have to treat them as a fraction and reduce the fraction. Okay, so write down reduce fraction. If you want to write it on the side, you can. Everyone gets the subtract exponent part, right? But now you have to know what to do with the 30/45ths. And what's the GCF? What's the biggest number you can divide both of those by? It's a little trickier than 5.
15.
15, good job. So if you divide this by 15, 30/45ths actually becomes 2/3. There's two ways to write this. You can write the 2/3 like this, and I want you to write both ways. Or you can write the 2 and the b to the 4th in the numerator and the 3 in the denominator. That's the same thing, and you'll see them both throughout your high school career. Put your math on. Math, math, math. Always put your math on. So either way, you just have to know what to do with the 30 and the 45. Next page. Oops, that's too much. Skip the page. There we go. Next page. Did you understand that, Michelle? Next page. Over here. Okay. Enough. Go ahead. Add exponents, subtract exponents. Multiply numbers, add exponents. And this one, the numbers don't divide into each other, so treat it as a fraction. Go ahead and do example 2, please. Podcast people, pause it, and then unpause it when you're ready. Good work, podcast people. All right, let's play ball. This one, you add the exponents of the x and add the exponents of the y. Check. Right, your thumbs. This one, you subtract the exponents of the x and subtract the exponents of the y. Check. You never divide exponents, ever. And here you multiply -3 times -4, which is 12. And then the b's, you add exponents. What do you get? B to the good and c to the good. Remember, if there's no exponent on b and c, there's a 1. If there's one b, if it's just b. And then this one, everyone subtracts the exponents right. But what do you do to 10/4? What do you divide it by? Divided by 2 to get 5/2, so you can write it like this. And sorry, I should have told you to write it both ways, because in the multiple choice question, you'll see both. That answer and that answer. It's the same thing. One, the numerical coefficient is just put in front of the variables. The other one, all the numerators are put in the top, and the 2 is the denom. You may. Okay, let's do this one. We've already talked about this one. I don't care about the x to the 6th part. We all know that. I care about what's 3 cubed. Is it 9? 3 cubed is 3 times itself, 3 times. It has to be 27. Okay, so do this one the same way. This is equal to 3 cubed, not 3 times 3. Remember, it's exponent laws. It's only the exponents that you multiply together. This 3 is not an exponent. It's a number. It's a base. All right, similarly, go ahead and do B. Bobby. Example 3, Bobby. And then we'll coach you on number 5. Example 4, we'll do it together. It's a math karate. You'll have homework on this section. You will not have homework on the next section. The math karate section. Yeah. All right, phones away. Thank you. Okay, so this one, multiply exponents. So a to the fourth, b to the sixth. Good job. Feel good about that. But feel really good about the next part. What's negative 2 times itself 2 times? Is it 4 or negative 4? It has to be positive 4, or you'll get it wrong. Negative 4 is not equal to positive 4. So how do you get this 4 here? It's negative 2 all squared, because that negative sign is inside the brackets. Okay, so negative 2 times negative 2. I'll just leave that up there for you, Hugo. Alright, let's do these guys together. What did I say a negative sign about a negative sign out in front? Leave it out in front. Okay, so this negative sign here, just leave it out in front. Now, multiply exponents, nacho cheese to the 10th. Now what happens to this negative sign inside the bracket? Well, there is no number, but there is a number. If you have a negative m, it's negative 1m. Negative t means negative 1t. So this is actually negative 1 nacho cheese. There's a negative 1 there. So what's negative 1 times itself 5 times? Is it positive or negative? Negative times negative times negative times negative times negative. Those positive, those are positive. There's one negative left, right? So there's a negative 1 in front of the bracket. You put 1 there, or you can just put negative. I'm going to put negative 1 so you know what I'm talking about. So there's a negative 1 there. And now, what happens if you have a negative negative? It's positive. So this is a weird question, but one that you can certainly do and not guess at. So the negative out front, leave it, and then the negative in the bracket stays as negative, because the negative times itself 5 times equals a negative. Then you multiply the negative times negative, which makes 10 nacho cheeses. That's a pretty good appetizer. Okay, let's coach this one. First of all, I wouldn't worry about this 4 until I simplify the top and the bottom. It's going to be easier for you. If you do and get it right, that's fine. You're just doing bigger numbers and longer work. I'll still mark it right if you get the answer. But the best thing to do here is just multiply these together. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then x to the 6 y cubed is just x to the 6 y cubed. Leave the denominator alone. And what number was it? 4. And then leave the 4 out. Now I would still ignore the 4 and just do this part. So divide numbers and subtract exponents. So what's 12 divided by 6? 2. What's x to the 6 divided by x to the 5th? X to the 1st. And then there's no y's. So you put that there. So this is a 3-stepper. It's okay. You've had some very easy questions that are worth 2 marks. Now this question's worth 2 marks. Finish it off for me, please. You can do it a different way, but this one is going to be the easiest way to deal with numbers and exponents, and a little less complicated. It's easier to organize when you do it this way. Okay, so now finish it off and get it right, including the first part. Yeah, but sit up. Okay. Ooh, that's a good signature. Write that down. So, multiply exponents. And then what's 2 to the 4th? What's 2 times itself 4 times? 16. Trade the y for 9. Oh, that's even better. Good. All right, coaching you on these ones. All right, come in, huddle, huddle. Everyone come huddle. We're not huddling up. That doesn't sound good on the podcast. Okay, we're fake huddling up. Okay, here it is. Game plan for A. Okay, what you want to do is you want to run 10 yards and then turn to the left and catch the ball and then dip your shoulder for a touchdown. Great. In math words, you want to multiply exponents, and we already saw this negative sign. When the negative sign is in the brackets, it's -1, like this one was, -1. So -1 to the exponent. Go ahead and try to do it. -1 times itself 4 times. Go, 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 break! Good job, look at it, run as fast as they can. Sweating. Oh, there's some Gatorade. Alright, good job. I see you guys all doing this, multiplying exponents. Now, is this going to be a positive or a negative? What's -1? That's this part. Multiplied by itself 4 times. Everyone? Is it positive or negative? Negative times negative times negative times negative is positive 1. Alright, good job. Okay. Next play, next play. Huddle up, huddle up. Okay, so here, you want to treat these separately. So just do that part first, ignore the second part. Just go ahead and apply the exponents. Multiply exponents, and then same thing here. Don't multiply -4 times 3. This is -4 to the 3rd. -4 times itself 3 times. Ready? Break! Oh, penalty on Andrew. He was too offside. He started too fast. 5 yards back. Oh, now he's throwing stuff at me. Unsportsmanlike conduct, 15 yards. Find your mom. Okay, that was just the first 5 yards. So here is -64, x to the 6th, y to the 9th. And then you leave the second part as is. Now, second down, what you want to do here is multiply the numbers and add exponents. Ready? Break! Yep. -4 times -4 times -4. That comes from -4 all cubed. -4 times -4 times -4.
Isn't it times 3?
Nope.
4 times 4.
Only exponent. Only multiply exponents. This -4 is not an exponent. It's a base. It's -4 cubed. -4 cubed is equal to -64. All right, look at you guys. Out of bounds with the first down. Okay, what's -64 times 8, somebody? Or everybody? Thank you. And then add exponents. So this gets a little messier. I'll call it a little more fun. Okay, we had to work harder for that first down. But we got it. And now we're still going. We're on their 30-yard line. So this one, okay, let's do C. Okay, this is the next play. Next play. I don't know why I'm bending down, but anyway, next play. We're going to subtract exponents first. So ignore this part. Just subtract exponents and then do that other part. Break! I hope this is recording good. Oh, it's tired. Hey, working hard, sweating on the field for the gridiron. Okay, equal signs, or you're benched. If you just subtract exponents, you get 2 to the 5th, and then bring down this outside exponent here, and now you multiply exponents, they get 2 to the 15th. Yeah, good, high five, yeah, good job, good job. All right, we're excited now. We're in the red zone, the 7-yard line. Get it? D's got 7s. Now what do we do here? Okay, here you go, head off. Okay, so what we're going to do here is multiply the exponents in the denominator. So just worry about the bottom. Add the exponents there, and then subtract the exponents, but keep that decimal in the bracket because it could be negative, and that would make a big difference there. Right? Oh, this is the clutch time. Get this one right, we score 7 points. Woo! I'm going to write down coach like football. This was fun. I've never done this before. Okay, here we go. Clutch time. Leave the numerator as is and add these exponents. And now subtract the exponents. Put them in brackets if you want to, because it might be negative. Get into good habits. Touchdown! Woo! Sit down. Stop jumping around like a bunch of goofs. We just hide it. Now for the win. You gotta trust your stupid kicker. Gotta kick it through there. Alright. Woo! Oh! It was a win! Overtime. Alright. Overtime. Can't believe I went wide left. Dang it. Alright, 9. 9 is fine. This one, keep the base and subtract exponents. Go, go, go. It's overtime. Ah, I missed that. It's really windy in this classroom. Oh, hold on. Jonas got a water bottle. He's getting nervous. You want some Gatorade? Just touch his family. No, I got some here. Spray bottle. Can you just open your mouth? You want to brush your teeth tonight? Nice, Eric. Okay. Okay, that one's easy enough, except for you're not done. That's not the answer because it says simplest form without brackets, so we have a bracket here. So this is the -1 thing. Is this going to be positive x to the 6th or negative x to the 6th? What's -1 times itself 6 times? Positive. So this is just going to be x to the 6th. This would probably be like a multiple choice question, I imagine. Okay? This one is odd because you got a -8 to the 6th, so exactly what you had here. So you're going to simplify this to a to the 6th, because -1 times itself 6 times is positive. And then this one, the exponent doesn't apply to the negative sign, it only applies to the a. So you leave that alone, and now this one is divide numbers What's 1 divided by -1? -1, and subtract exponents. This is a trickier one than it looks. I missed that. Okay, we got it down to the 10. Only a chimpanzee would miss this stick. Oh, notice how I'm professional. 2 steps, 2. Okay, no problem. Just easy. Oh, come on! Wait a minute. It's good! Woo! 3 points, we win. We are the champions of the world! Yes, glorious. All right. What else would I say about football? It's something else fun. I'm not sure, but let's keep practicing math and do this homework as well. You had plenty of time to work on homework, so no complaining, my friends. Do your job, and that's going to help you. Now, tomorrow, you're going to give me the quiz. I'm going to correct it, and then the next day we have the quiz. This is not on the quiz. I told you the quiz is up to page 17, the bottom of page 17, and I'll remind you tomorrow again what's on the quiz. So, the quiz is not any exponent laws.
Is there anything on like page 11 to
Yep. You betcha. It's on page 1 to 17. Stuff, everything before the break as well has to be taught. All right, let's stretch. We're kind of warmed up already. We're probably well into this. Oh, I'm lucky I have such a good kicker. Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you. I'll tell you tomorrow about how I actually became the kicker for our team that had national championship aspirations. I'm going to tell you. We'll do Mount Carly tomorrow. I'll tell you now. So, I was playing for the Huskies, of course, and we were really good. And it had nothing to do with me. And then our kicker got hurt. So we had our rugby player. Actually, our kicker got hurt playing rugby, and then another rugby player who was on our team started kicking, and he got hurt. So we had absolutely no kicker, and we're ready to win the Vanier Cup. And so our punter, so punting is when you drop the ball and kick it. Kicking is what I did so professionally right here. You kick it off the ground. So Rich was our punter, but he was also my high school quarterback. So I knew that I was a better kicker than him because we just fooled around once in a while when we were at the school. And so he was struggling in practice. This was right before our biggest game, Calgary Dinos in Calgary. And I said, Rats, I know I can kick better than Rich, even though I've never kicked him. I played soccer my whole life. He goes, okay, show me. So I don't know, I kicked 3 out of 4 or something. He goes, okay, you're kicking tomorrow. And I go, great. So I'm kicking tomorrow. I've never done it, not even in high school. So the first one, the easiest one, is after a touchdown. It's called point after. Chimpanzees can do this. And what I did is I kicked it. It hit the post and went in. Woohoo! Perfect. Textbook. 1 point for me. I mean, for my team. It's not about me. It's for the team. Anyways, it was interesting because I got lambasted because we were on TSN and in the newspaper, and the only bad thing about the team was me. That was the only bad thing, was the kicking game. No one ever mentioned on TV that I'd never kicked in my life. They were saying, oh, that guy, I don't know if he can kick 10 yards. Oh, gosh. But I thought it was funny, but my family and friends were getting mad. I don't care. So I ended up being 2 for 3, and luckily for the Vanier Cup, I didn't have to kick. Our second guy was able to kick. But that was interesting, that's for darn sure. God bless, an awesome day! Homework is all the way up to page 24, page 25. Up to page 25, And you have the hand-in quiz tomorrow. Hand-in quiz, which I gave you guys in class. And podcast people, it is on Google Class now as a PDF. God bless. An awesome day again.